Hey there, guys. Sean Meyer from Microsoft, and we are here from Talking Microsoft. I'm here as all Sean. I'm doing pretty well, but Skype and YouTube are not doing well.
Nope.
We tried Skype preview, it didn't work. We tried regular, it didn't work, and then streaming on YouTube didn't work.
Yes.
So we apologize to all of our live listeners, but this week you just get the pre-recorded one, which out the D's in comparison to this week. So it's kind of ironic. You got a tech podcast. We're like talking about Microsoft, and you can't use a Microsoft product, and then you can't use different tech.
Yep. Technology is failing us today, Sean. It's one of those days.
Bad whatever days, but you got here you go, bad today. So there's right. That. Sean is huddling up next to his Wi-Fi router.
Right. Trying to get as strong a signal as I can.
Booted my PC, but anyway, I don't know how much people care. My PC's not working and YouTube not working with us. I couldn't get into the biggest news of this week, which is a very interesting patent that people have found.
Yeah, so there's this patent. Everyone's kind of speculating that this might be the Surface phone, and I'll say why I think that's not too far-fetched, but why it also is far-fetched. The patent is something we've actually seen. It seems like every year some sort of device like this emerges. It's basically kind of like, imagine two phones that are sandwiched together, but you can open them up and have a screen, and that's made with the use of a flexible display. So a display that can actually flex multiple times without cracking in the middle. So I think it was quite interesting. I mean, we've heard the Samsung, I think they actually had a device that they showed at 1 year. They had somebody holding, we've seen flex displays at CES. What makes me think that next Surface phone, or a future Surface phone, is the big push towards running full Windows 10 on your mobile device. So I can see there being a need to expand your screen and make it bigger. This might be a way to have a bigger screen without actually having a monitor. So from that standpoint, I can see how this might work on a phone. Before what Samsung came out with, it was kind of silly. It's like, all right, you can turn it into a tablet, but they're kind of the same thing. But if you have a phone that can run Windows, now I can start to see why you might want a bigger screen.
If we're talking three of the main form factors, phone, tablet, PC, I wouldn't say I'm dying to have Windows tablet mode that much. Like, I don't hate it. Like, it's not awful, but I mean, it's for me would be like a phone, like what HP's doing with the dock and that thing. But from a technological standpoint of being, I point out, and we're all pointing this out, it's patent filings that never become devices. The patent filings from years ago that pop up, now. I remember just a month ago, there was a patent for a Lumia device, or at least what we thought was Lumia. People say, and I said, if that's the Surface phone, I will live stream a video of me attempting to cook and eat a Lumia device. And so generally with patents, you got to be a little cautious. Now, that being said, someone from The Verge pointed out who filed this patent and how his name is attached to other Surface-related in the past, including the kickstand.
Yep.
So that doesn't obviously verify it, but it makes it just a little inch of, that salt meme these days is really popular, just salt, that you got with rumors, but you don't need too much because, or not as much as some of this evidence. So I don't know, Surface Phone 2, it does line up with the idea of the Surface kind of being a new form. You know, it was I don't know if it was the first two-in-one. It was certainly one of the first two-in-one. Remember, you know, with the kickstand and the keyboard and that sort of thing. Surface Blue, obviously. Those types of devices are, you know, generally if it's Surface, inventing a platform or reinvigorating a platform. So this would, you know, no, there's no, if it happened, it would. But I'm guessing if this is going to happen right away, you would, and especially if it was running an ARM with full Windows 10, you would really have a phone and tablet in one, which would be quite incredible. It would be even more of a true 3-in-1 than the tablet. Right now, so they'll call it a 3. It's a phone with a really big screen, so it's like a phablet and a laptop or whatever. But it would be a true 3-in-1.
Yep. Yeah. And the reason why I think that whether or not this is a Surface phone, why I think we're not going to see this anytime soon is because there's something that's so access phones out there right now that can do this, that you can I would be really, really surprised if Microsoft, as one of their premium devices, released something radical.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, the 2-in-1 was kind of a tablet with the keyboard attaching. It wasn't a tablet that rolled into your pocket. So,
yeah.
Really big step. It'd be huge, though, if they pulled it off. Now, we are seeing some foldable screens. You know, we've seen foldable screens before, rollable screens.
Yeah.
There are a couple phones that are come out later this year. People are reporting phones with foldable screens coming out later in 2017. So it wouldn't be the first ever to do it, but there wouldn't really enough on one hand. Full screen, because I feel like people would end up breaking it, and then Microsoft even they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have any experience with foldable screens, so I have no idea how reliable they are, how robust they are. Although, you know, I must say Microsoft has actually been surprising recently. If you think about HoloLens, that was something that I didn't think was possible. So, yeah, I guess it remains to be seen. We'll find out. I think it's rumored in spring or end of March or something is when we might hear another announcement, Surface Pro 5. So who knows? We'll see. We'll just have to hang tight.
Yeah, I think that with I'm not an expert on foldable screens. I don't know that the hardware to a point that it'll work. And I know that Windows is a scalable operating switch between a phone and a tablet OS. Yeah, I mean, of course it could. I mean, you have Windows 10 Mobile as a shell. People talk about shells.
Yep.
You know, as you got tablet mode, you have full PC mode. I think Windows 10 needs. I saw a video review today of the Surface Studio, and even on that. Windows 10 scales very well on massive screens. So I think it's very slow OS. I think foldable screens will be there. But I just see some guy or some girl taking a screen and bending it too far.
I like that example you have. That's great.
Well, and then you know, people say, "Oh, look at this." Claim that's a stupid customer. Sure. But Windows Phone is on the edge right now. Apparently, it's dropped below 1% market share. You say, could use a risk? Microsoft need to take that risk to be successful, but you know, I live it this way. If it is an 8, but for a Surface phone, I'm not sure how they could bounce that.
Yeah, because it's a pretty big hit on the reputation.
When they do make this phone, it's going to be like the return of Windows. They didn't even market it as that. It might have been so long that the market is, you know, Windows Mobile, but Windows 10 Mobile, but it won't just be Windows everywhere, and it'll be full window. And they might market it differently. If then you have a bend gate or ripping foldable screen, I don't know. I don't want to sound pessimistic because I'm sure the hard there, but people are morons and they can do stupid things. But there are enough nice things for the rest of us. It takes like 1 or 2 people that thinks that they can increase a foldable screen, then they break it, to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Then it goes on Reddit and it goes on Facebook, and anyway.
Yeah, and that's how Bengate became so popular. Right?
Yeah, there weren't that many Ben iPhones, were there?
No, it was a rare thing, but those one or two rare occurrences, own a portion.
Yeah, but I guess that probably didn't squander iPhones. I think Windows Phone's probably a bit more crowded. But we'll see. I mean, if they did this, would you want this device?
That's a really, it's such a new technology. The bending screen that I would have to at first. I think I would want it if my nervousness right now is that I don't know how well a screen like that would actually work. Like right in the middle where the crease is, but would it be too bulky in my pocket? If it's something that I can't keep in my pocket, that's a deal breaker for me, right? So there's so many ones that I don't. It's too early to even.
You know how we've said, I've said it in the past. I don't need phones to be in it. But if you're full health, you do need to cut that thinness down or the thickness down. Yeah. So, do you know that show Westworld?
Westworld, no.
I've never seen people love it, so I'm not. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. Apparently, there's a folded phone that opens up into a tablet on that show. It would be a good time to release something like this because you saw it's on a major. I think.
If Microsoft does release a Surface phone, they run full Windows because of the new Windows 10 on ARM thing. Would they? Are we gonna? What do you think is gonna happen to Windows Mobile?
I think they'll keep it for low devices. Windows 650 or whatever, whatever. Then launch, and not just Lumias. Even if they don't make Lumias anymore, lower age devices or whatever, new ends, Neos, and all to be running full Windows 10 on ARM devices with a 1 gigabyte phone probably. So if you need that, I know they displayed it on 820. It'll probably only come to HP. I don't know what it's going on, but the lowest powerful device we've seen it on is 20. So I can't imagine that there'll be much lower than that. I think it'll keep it around, and then they've spent all this. So you feel that tablet mode in Windows 10 is kind of similar?
I do. Ever since that one guy on our live stream tweeted that I should try tablet mode again, I actually have gone back to try it again. It has improved. I have been happy with some of the minor improvements. Overall, I don't feel like I rarely use it, even though I use my Surface as a tablet. I rarely go into tablet mode.
Yeah, and I think that tablet mode is probably not a very mature thing. Mobile, it would be. It is the shell. It would probably, my guess, and other guesses would be Win Mobile, though it would technically be Windows. Windows, but it would scale it down, continue in reverse with the it's more mature because Windows Mobile, to me, has been developed much more so than Windows 10 tablet mode.
Yep.
So you would a more mature operating, so I think that would work better.
So let me ask you this. So we've seen Windows 10 come to mobile. Would you like to see Windows Mobile?
No. Is there?
Like a little.
I don't know.
The start menu when you click the start button, it would be Windows Mobile, right? I don't know.
Now I will say, if you could get it where there was a menu on my screen, I misunderstood what you were saying. Really, my phone popped up as the start menu.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the start menu right now, it's kind of like a little tiny window. So, OS in there. I don't know. Just ideas.
Maybe the notification start, type the text messages and leave start.
Yeah.
Horrible. No, I think that Windows 10 is, because it's being developed continually, and it will get better. So I think it's very interesting. I think phones are getting a peak in that, and we're seeing what's all you're going to do right now is make the camera better, make the battery better, make the screen better. There's a point where screens don't need to be better on device. Then you say, well, what do you need? Then people are saying, make a VR headset, maybe make a Continuum. These manufacturers are looking for something new. I hope Microsoft will give us something very interesting to cover.
Exactly. Yeah, and phones have there's always innovation in phones, but they've kind of stagnated, over the last, let's say, year and a half, 2 years, where we've really plateaued. So, yeah, I think it's ready for something big and bold again, another iPhone-ish type launch, right?
Well, I think I think it would be, I don't want to say the next, because I think that's a marketing can for but it would be. That's what it would. So, it'd be a very interesting. When's your guess on when they would announce it? If it wasn't this foldable, if there is a Surface Phone, they'll announce it.
My hope is they will announce it alongside the Surface Pro 5 in the spring. So to see, it's not going to be a Windows big devices event like we saw in 15. What was that? But yeah, I would hope that there would be a Surface event where they would launch a few Surface devices.
Yeah. Could be big. We've heard that there might be even a Surface Phone if it happened in 2018. So
oh, really?
It was 2018 until later. So
okay.
I don't know.
Huh. Well,
I don't know.
If it's 2018, then it might have. Why would they take so long? Like, what are they actually doing?
The phone might be a HoloLens, Sean. Seriously.
Yeah. Technology, it just moves so quickly and time so fast that you just can't. You can't technology. You can't plan that far ahead because things will change. There's a lot of disruptive tech out there. Especially
I think what we're seeing now is this is the valley. This is for Windows.
Really?
I think it supports it. I know that they have development staff on it and that they're cutting support. But this year, today, Surface Phone, I can't imagine a lower point for Windows Phone. Not because Microsoft's bad or anything. I actually think Windows 10 Mobile's probably improved, in the last year. And the app gap, my personal bank choice on there. We're not losing major ones. We lost a couple, but but this is it's going below 1%. I think it'll bottom out, and the Surface Phone, and maybe it's better new, but off of architecture that you already have. Yeah. So new coding, you still have any apps, but it would die down completely in the eyes of any media except for like us and like all the Windows people. Gadget and CNET and the techie people that care about tech but don't Microsoft as just specifically as us.
Yeah.
They probably won't all for a year. Then if there is a Surface Phone, could it be something you could build off of? Because they'll have forgotten about the old and just move on. They got a new phone. It's great. It folds. It flips. It's a full piece of stuff. This ain't your granddaddy Windows Phone. That could be a good thing.
Yeah. I think Google did the same thing. There's been like 3 Google phones over the last 10 years, right? And each time it comes out, they're like, oh, this is the first ever Google phone. I'm like, wasn't the Android considered the first Google phone? Then there was another one, the Nexus, when the Nexus line was first announced, and now it's the Pixel, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes you need to let. But the benefit here is because it's attached to Windows 10 proper, the OS is not going to die. Windows 10 Mobile is not going anywhere. The 5 used could be the 5 used in Redmond, the Surface Phone. It would be fine. Plus, like all these, that could be it, and that would be fine. because then they have an operating system that's still supported and has for years when they come out with a new device.
Yep.
And that's the benefit of that. If Windows Phone was independent, like if it was black, it would be gone. It's not. It's part of Windows 10, and that's the benefit of it, is no matter how much it is, it's still here.
I like that. And I think that's good. The Microsoft, right, initiative, the Windows 10
I agree.
on all devices. I think we're seeing some good headway towards that. You know, when they first announced that, I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before. You know, it's not going to happen. They're pushing really hard, and each 3 months it goes by, or something else about more unification. You know, it gets closer and closer to that one Windows strategy. So
Yeah,
I think we're.
That's what I mean. It's Windows 10 IoT is there, and they can work on and develop it.
Yep.
And then they can institute APIs in Cortana and all that. This is the benefit of having this monolithic company that's going to do. It's a huge company, and that's great for this reason.
Yep.
They can have developers work on Windows 10 as a whole,
Yep.
and then work on making Windows 10 mobile better, and that's a good thing.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. And then
Let's talk.
yeah, I was going to say Xbox is technically Windows 10, right? The OS on Xbox is technically a Windows 10 operating system.
And you know what? Actually, I am seeing some universal apps showing up on Xbox One that I actually use or would
really?
like to use. Yeah, you wouldn't. See, the thing is, it's all about form factor. I've said this before. A phone-specific app is not going to be made for the PC, and Xbox-specific apps probably not be on phones. But there are some apps that work. Just Eat and Domino's are actually both on Xbox One.
Really? Oh, wow.
And I think
I got to order pizza tonight.
Domino's might still be like a legacy one because that was there before.
Okay.
I think Just Eat is a Windows 10 universal app.
Really?
And it's there, and you can order food. And it's, to me, the sign of how much a developer cares about the Xbox One platform is when they make an app. Is it just a floaty, hovery cursor instead of a mouse that you have to control with a joystick?
Yeah.
Or have they made them like clickable between the different items on a menu? And that's what Just Eat has done. And so that's great.
Interesting. Okay.
And another app, Grover Podcast, which I always recommend. They have a great universal app for phones and PC, and it is now on the Xbox One. It's basically, and I don't want them to get in trouble, but it's basically Groove Music, but for podcasts. It looks almost identical to it. In fact, it used to be called, I think, Groove Podcast or something like that, and they had to change it. And so it's great. I love it. Universal apps are coming there. Skype Preview hasn't made it, but based on today, maybe that's for the best.
Yeah.
But so it is Windows 10, and moving forward, we're going to see more Xboxes, and that includes Project Scorpio, which will have, I'm sure, another name at some point. There's a Redditor, and there's some buzz that we picked up on. Did we already know at least? I don't think that Microsoft bases their release dates for devices on Zodiac calendars. I would say it like, it's a code name, whatever, to the Zodiac calendar directly. That being said, when the Zodiac sign for Scorpio is for, I guess, I don't believe in it. That's where is end up through just about the end of November.
Yeah.
I do think that's about when it get released. So I don't think it's because of the Zodiac sign. I guess it could. I'll eat my words as it happens. But I do think that it could be that date. Like I could see it, or at least you have to announce it before the holidays. You have to announce it in November. Yeah. Black Friday sales and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the last several years, there's always been some sort of Surface or Windows 10 device announcement end of October, right? Yeah. It's so been like that last week of October. So, yeah, it's kind of it was a safe prediction. The Windows.
Yeah, I mean, if say anything, it says, "Have we known it all along?" Maybe it is. I don't know. I'll eat my words if that happens, but I do think it'll end of October. They'll get into into the stores by Black Friday. The Black Friday Christmas. Why wouldn't you? greatest sale in Xbox One history?
Yeah, that's right. Greatest
Well,
sale.
why was that? Because they released the Xbox One S and then pushed it throughout the holidays.
Oh yeah, those are some steep discounts too.
I know. I regret that I got a regular Xbox One.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm thinking about should I sell my Xbox and get an Xbox? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't. It's not. I'm the idiot because I didn't have any Xbox, and I went from 0 Xboxes to 1 Xbox, but it wasn't an S.
Oh.
And I'm like the customer, but I bought it right before the S came out.
Oh man, that's the
I
worst.
should have known better. I should have checked with somebody.
I'm sure you got a good deal on it.
And I got to connect with it as well, which for gaming, yeah, but for Skype calls, cool. All right, there was this build 4 days ago here, so they released Windows 10 Inside View 15007. It does not have as many new
features. When we started talking, you read off the whole laundry list of the previous build, right?
Yeah. So it doesn't have quite as many new features as that, but it does have. I would recommend going through it as always because there's some things that are just for mobile, some things that for PC. Let me highlight a few that we're going to go there. There's a couple things on Edge that I've actually tried out. Like tabs, there's all your tabs, and then there's an option for sharing. I haven't tried that, but you can easily do that where you share all the different tabs. If you're a Chrome user and you switch, they've made it easier to import things. You can now download like a download link instead of having to save it first, which is really nice. Some web node improvements. There's text scaling improvements. Here we go. Download themes for your PC. So this looks nice because instead of just like it looks quite nice as well. So that's worth looking at there. That's on its way. Cortana can help. Oh. If PC doesn't break. Cortana can help you pick up where you left off. So I'll just read this from, I believe, Donna. It says, if you have multiple PCs, you probably know how cumbersome it can be to find everything you need to resume work after switching between PCs. Cortana can help with that. When you switch computers, Cortana will display quick links in the action to help you easily get back into Microsoft Edge websites and SharePoint and other cloud-based documents you used.
Awesome.
So that's nice. A couple other things here that are not as big. But yeah, no, I think that's a big part of it. I think just incremental updates. There's something specific to mobile. I wouldn't say a lot of them are kind of front-facing feature types of things. Yep. You can set recurring reminders on mobile, and then web payments are supported in Microsoft Wallet, I believe. It's in preview state. So there's some things there. It's not as huge of a build as 15002, but it is there. And it's actually downloaded on my personal device, which the other one did not. So that's actually
very cool.
I think we're getting there. I think we are getting there. You know, one thing I'm upset about blue light filtering has made its way to Windows 10 Mobile.
Oh, and that's kind of when people need it. Oh,
yeah, it's because you're probably on your phone right before you go to bed.
Yeah, checking. It's always that you're checking one last notification, and then you're like, oh, I check and see what else is on my feed, and then before you know it, it's like 2 hours later, and you're like, I should get to bed.
I've actually found that when you have a blue light filter on, it almost makes you go to sleep if you stare.
Oh, really? I would love that. I need that.
Kind of groggy a bit, so it's actually not. It certainly doesn't keep you up as much as when it's there. So I hope that makes Windows on Windows 10 Mobile, and that's just a little thing that makes the iPhone has night shift. I don't know what that is, but I've heard about it. And then Android has third-party options because screen overlays are a thing in Android. It needs to be on Windows 10 Mobile.
Yep.
This one, if you're going to develop mobile OS and make it mature, it needs to have these options.
Yep, exactly. Well,
in fact, let me ask, are there any other features, one way or the other, like a feature that's in mobile that's not on PC, or if it's on PC but not on mobile, you like to make the jump?
That's a good question. I think Windows Mobile, being a Windows Mobile, heavy user, yeah, I don't know. I know there's been a few apps or top. I would say most of my pet peeves are bringing Android features over to Windows Mobile.
What are some of those then?
What you said is, just being able to, with Android, you can reskin your whole device and make it whatever you want. You can have screen overlays. I mean, there's so many ways that developers can tweak and mess with your OS, whereas with iOS and Windows Mobile, they're just too restrictive. So.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Because Windows as a platform is very open.
Oh yeah, you
Windows
remember
PCs.
Windows 8 before the start button came out? There was you to put your own start menu in there, right?
Yeah,
and that's just
and Windows. I saw on Reddit last week. There's actually two current taskbar things that have made. Before Microsoft implemented the first-party touchpad in the right-hand corner for tablets, or I think there was a third-party app for that. There's see-through keyboard.
yeah.
All the other things you can do when you make custom programs are good.
That's absolutely necessary for adoption. We're phone, just like Windows.
No, I was just about to say that. I completely agree.
Right? They got it right. Everything that made people like Windows for Microsoft, it's like Android has done for the phone, right? And
yeah, you can mess around with it. I do think the one thing you do need, and Google's doing that now, Google made phone.
Yeah.
It's to make like raw, unadulterated Android, and then people can do whatever they want with it.
Exactly. Yep, and it sets the bar, and I think that's what Surface has done so well is they set the bar, and now we're seeing a ton of Surface clones. It's crazy, Yeah. Yep.
I saw a Surface clone today that supported Thunderbolt support, so you can have an external hard drive.
Really? Wow.
He was using I think it was an NVIDIA, what is it? 1080X.
Yeah, I think So that's definitely the way to have a premium device to kind of set the bar, and then at least consumers are like, all right, this is about as high end as you go,
I think they need that. It wasn't a mess, and on
Windows
tablets.
Phone. Swift key.
Windows 10 mobile keyboard is okay. The most people liked Windows Phone 8.1 keyboard better.
Yep.
Windows tablet mode keyboard to me is just dumb. If you have a 10-inch tablet, you're clicking like I've read about this a million times. I get sick of it.
No, I agree.
Third-party support for keys. Android tablets have it. Android phones have Swift key, which is, by the way, owned by Microsoft. Yeah. I know they bought it for the AI. You can't even use on their own products. It's so embarrassing. Just open up third-party keyboard support. Yep. That's all I want. The Swift key could do that on their own time.
So Microsoft. That's how key became so popular. They were just a random third-party Android. I mean, how lame is that? You're a random third-party keyboard for and something to be said, like you said, about allowing third-party developers to do stuff like this. I mean, it's
I understand. Swift key is great. I'm surprised more people aren't concerned about the security. It seems to know absolutely everything that I type, which I personally like. But the hissy fit about like Windows 10 logging anything, like and then telemetry data because this app crash. I know they a lot of it. But I've literally given SwiftKey permission to like look through my Twitter and emails.
Oh yeah.
And and it helps. It is remember things, and it remembers my email and remembers all sorts of things. That's fine with third-party options. And I wish that Microsoft, which got so good because of third-party programs on PC,
exactly.
I wish that they had that on phones more, because there's such a very developing community that's amazing. I'm so by UWP.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just Rudy Hune. I mean, it's the guys that make podcasts. It's the guys that make VLC. It's little things, big things. There's really like, I'm sure they do other stuff, but they really know the platform.
Yeah.
If you give the guys that let them do screen overlays, keyboards, they do it in a heartbeat. They do it in a heartbeat. And you know there's developers there, and they just won't open it up to them. I don't know if it's security. I'm sure they have the reasons, but I'm not happy with that part of it.
Yeah. Did you know? I don't know if you knew this, but Google actually came out with a Metro, a Windows 8 version of Chrome browser.
Really?
So you could launch it in desktop mode, but you could also launch it in mobile mode on Windows. But it never made it to Windows RT, and it's because Microsoft didn't allow them, even though the capabilities to add in extensions into the mobile version, right?
Microsoft Edge Mobile supports extensions, so
yeah. maybe that's why. Yeah, there needs to be that customizability, the tweakability. I mean, I like Apple Windows Mobile to go after the Apple type thing, but I think Apple is so unique. You almost can't try and replicate that.
Well, also, what would be the harm? Like, if you were on an Android phone, I can almost guarantee that my mom downloaded a blue light filter. I doubt she's using a third-party keyboard. She's an end user. She likes phones because of their email, WhatsApp, call, just normal phone stuff. But she switched when she got a smartphone. She needed one with the bigger screen for her eyesight because she didn't want to have to. I don't know if it was because she didn't want to have to use glass services. She wanted a big screen. At the time, the iPhones were small. She got an Android, and then she stuck with it. Like, that's my mom. I doubt she's downloaded any of these things. I love my mom to death, but she's not rooting. She's not tinkering with deep rooting. Pretty vanilla phone.
Yeah.
Then do that. But to have people mess with it. That's what I want.
I completely agree. That's my biggest pet peeve too.
Next feature here. It's again. It could be. Hopefully we'll see it.
Okay, and this is the dynamic lock and proximity lock, correct?
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I mean, there's some reports on this. It's basically like this spike.
Yep. Yeah. So when you hit in front of the camera and it detects your face and you're able to log in. And I think technically the fingerprint sensor falls under the Windows Hello.
Yeah, any of those security measures. Yeah.
Which, by the way, not to divert too much, I heard a report today that there's a ton more devices coming out with Windows Hello support built in, which I think is pretty cool. That's one of my favorite features that I take for granted on my Surface is Windows Hello. When I log onto another computer, I notice it immediately. I'm like, what? You're not going to log me in automatically? But yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, you use Windows Hello quite a bit. And the update at the end of this article that we have is this feature, speaking of what Windows goodbye, because Windows Central reports that internally Microsoft refers to it as catchy. Says it's been confirmed to be Bluetooth and could go by the proximity lock, which is a terrible name. Windows Hello, Windows goodbye. I mean, they just work. But anyway, would you want your PC to be able to, based on like if you walked away, or would you find it irritating?
So, well, it depends industry you're in. I remember it was always, they would penalize you if you went to the bathroom and you forgot to lock your computer. So there was this big culture around locking your computer every time you stood up, and 9% of the time we'd do it, but there'd be those times we'd forget because it's a pain, So I can see like for the corporations, especially like government agencies or high security agencies, I could see that being a business use to automatically lock when the user goes away. Personally,
how long does Windows Hello take to sign in on a high-end device? Like on your how long does it take to log?
It's pretty fast.
Okay.
Maybe?
I wonder if for some people they would actually like the option just look, if they get up, it just logs out. Or not log, it locks. Like, there's a camera there. Like, yeah. I'd almost think if it's that quick to log back in, you get up, you go there, you come back, it takes seconds to log. Would that really be that bad? Especially if they cut down the time to 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with Bluetooth, I mean, I don't know how quick it would be.
So I actually have that on my watch. So on my Android phone, as long as my Android watch is in the proximity of my Android phone, it doesn't ask me for the password.
Right. I've seen that option.
And log in. And then if for some reason I left it somewhere, then I have to enter in my password again, and that's a pain. So it's similar if it's, if it's using Bluetooth based on your phone thing that's on you, right, to lock when you're near. Yeah, I guess I enjoy that. Sure. I'm somebody who I only recently started using passwords. I loved the old days when I had no password on my computer, when I turned it on, and days when it took so long to boot up. Go make some tea, come back, and it's to your desktop, right?
I think the proximity things that I really enjoy is like my phone. When I'm home, I don't have to use a password. When I'm out, I do. So when I'm home, I can use my fingerprint to unlock it. But when I'm when I'm anywhere, I can use my fingerprint to unlock it. But when I'm at home, I swipe up and it's unlocked. And that's because it's that I've set up. And then it's smart lock, and that's fine. I think that'd be fun. Especially for the laptop, I think that'd be great. You'd have to set the option. If I'm in my own house, it doesn't lock. This PC, if it's fast, it's fine, because then it would keep people in your situation from getting penalized. Bluetooth, how far of a range is that? Bluetooth with 4.0, quite a range. So
yeah, I think it's a good feature for this. I think it needs to be. I think for everyday consumers, probably not necessary to log you out when you're away. I don't know. And there's still theft, and there's still people trying to log into your stuff, but this seems like it'd be perfect for business and high security environments.
All right. Well, there's some other, speaking of, but I'll just trip my way into this.
Okay.
Fitbits. They're all the rage. My sister-in-law just got one. They're great. My dad has one. Fitbits are great. But they don't always work completely. Support GAT. Windows 10 itself doesn't support GAT notifications. We get things like estimations and phone notifications, that type of thing. Let me read an example. For instance, when an incoming does connect the GAT server and buy a wearable of its text arrival, that's what would happen after the craze update. As of now, that's not supported. So that's great. This is one of these little things that they're adding into Windows 10. It might not affect, but it does work. My main question: why are they referring to PC? Is that useful to get text message notifications from your Windows 10 PC to your Windows 10? Why isn't mobile mentioned? That's my main question.
Yeah.
How useful is it? How useful is it to have notifications that only work with your PC? It has to be on phones as well. It has to be.
Yeah, unless it's another hint for phasing out Windows Phone. I don't know.
This whole article that we have here, all it says is headsets on Windows 10 for PCs and great. So it seems odd. I hope that API makes its way mobile.
It definitely makes a lot. In this case, that makes on the phone rather than on your desktop. But that's all.
You're talking about SMS and call notification. I have to on your phone. So eventually, but
very cool.
I guess I would. Yeah, there's a couple of things with gaming improvements, and then we'll probably.
Saw this article. It's similar to the creators update was first announced. Talking how the Windows 10 creators update is, there's a lot of different aspects of it, 3D and accessibility, all this stuff, but also was one of the things that was focused on being able to stream your games using Beam, which actually we were just talking about today that we're to Beam, get better reliability, faster audience, interaction, stuff like that. Just being able to have that. Windows 10 in general is a little bit more gamer friendly. Got Game Bar. The Xbox app is great. You've got some options, but Windows 10 Creators Update, you'll have a lot more flexibility, a lot more VR, or streaming, a lot more game modes built in. That blue, feature. I think that could be used. You see gamers wearing those yellow, glasses. So this might, so yeah, I think for gamers in general, it's they're touting it as much more game friendly. I guess I was surprised recently that there were a lot of on upgrading to Windows 10. You preferred Windows 7. It was Windows 7 was considered to be the more gaming, but now peaks and rumors, whisper here and there that, oh man, we wish we had upgraded to Windows 10.
Yeah. No, so I think, like you said, Windows 10 as an operating system is already, I think, pretty good for game. I'm not a PC gamer. I kind of wish I was. Well, no, I mean it. I got Forza, which I love. I could do that, and I had a rig that I could do that, but a gaming laptop or something. But anyway, they're also going to be adding some. They have some. I'm not sure anything. But it's basically Mike Ybarra has highlighted some certain things through Xbox Wire. Some of the things coming in the gamers they'll affect Xbox Live, Windows 10 PCs, mobile, and Xbox One. So I think Windows about this before. There's also some reports that I think just generally this is going to get a little different. In some of the demos we've different, I think.
Yeah.
Then maybe some of the things that we would see. So I think we're already seeing reports about Snap.
Beam. Yep.
What was that?
More of the technology behind Beam that they're bringing to Windows 10, and not the interface.
But we might be seeing the snapping in Xbox One that's reportedly on the way. There's also some reports that the guide's going to be changing, but also Beam's going to be integrated, and that's going to be something that's nice. It says on Windows 10, instant live streaming will be started via the game bar. That game bar and that appear in the latest preview build running yet. So this is gaming performance improvements. And there's also they're working on new and improved community features. So I basically I was reading today that Xbox One, the whole interface is kind of built for the Kinect, and they've slowly moved away from that. And I think also integrated some of Windows 10 on it here. But I think the guide's going to be changing. Snapping might be changing. There's all sorts of different little things they're going to be adding here. I think overall, Xbox One and Windows 10 are coming together as a gaming platform, and they're going to be a better platform for it. So I think it's great, honestly, and I think this is really going to be like the beautiful, beautiful child of this marriage between PCs and Xbox.
Yes, yeah, I'm excited for Project Squirrel. At first, I wasn't really, but the more time it's had to do, the more time we've gotten used to Xbox One, the more it's like, all right, I'm ready for Scorpio now.
All I know, I pay $100 for legal version of Mario on Xbox. Because with all that Switch hype, people are Switch just said, look, it's kind of cool with the touching, the mobile screen, but for me, I'd probably just as happy if Mario was on Xbox and Pokemon was on PC.
Yep. Yeah, if I could buy a Nintendo hardware, right? Not games, just the hardware for $150, whatever. Or if I could buy an app that was like, oh, it's Xbox, you still have to buy your games, but here's basically, instead of buying the hardware, here's the app for you to run those games. And yeah, I would consider doing that. I would consider buying a Wii U for my Xbox. You know, having to buy another console.
I know game emulators are a thing, but I want to buy the games. But I think Xbox as a whole is really developed into a. It's funny to see how far it's come. Xbox One came out, and it was like, I don't know. It was so different when it was first advertised versus where it's going to be now. And I think Windows 10 as a gaming platform is really great. It looks, it's like it's getting a lot of things. But
yep.
Anyway, I think that's about all the time we have for today, isn't it?
I think that is. Yep, that's right. So.
Well, we apologize for our live listeners. If you used to watch this live, I apologize. Both of us do. We will try to iron that out for next week.
Yep.
But this has been Talk Microsoft. As always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Sean Michael. You can find me on Twitter at Sean_Michael_UK. And as always, I'm with co-host Sean Ung.
That's right.
You can find him on Twitter.
Yep, at Sean_Ong.
Also, check out his YouTube channel as well. I can guarantee that if there's a Surface phone, he's going to be talking about it there, right?
Yes, I definitely will.
And so there's all sorts of stuff. But for Microsoft news in general, make sure to check out OnMSFT.com. So we got all sorts of how-tos. We got, the latest news, all the preview build, breakdowns, all that sort of stuff. So make sure to keep tuned there, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Sounds great. Bye-bye.